Hello, thank you for watching. I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible. I have a whole bunch of articles to share with you, as you can see, but I really do firmly believe that we're about to get pulled into World War III. And by we, I mean everybody, the entire globe. Not just, I don't mean countries as the United States, I mean the people of the world are about to get dragged into World War III. This intervention in Syria, I believe, is the trigger. And I want to go ahead and show, before the internet gets killed, that I want to show 100% proof. I want to show a collection of proof that shows how this whole thing is planned. Because once the internet is turned off and it's unplugged, you're stuck with what you know. And I think the most important thing we can do, one of the most important things we can do right now, is educate ourselves on what is going on, because it's in black and white, and we just need to get this out there. Now here's John Kerry, Skull and Bones member, but who cares, because the facts speak for themselves. And not that that's not a fact, but it's not. We're not even going to do conspiracy stuff. We're going to use black and white to show how this is all planned. Secretary of State John Kerry said Monday that the use of chemical weapons in attacks on the civilians in Syria last week was undeniable, and that the Obama administration would hold the Syrian government accountable for a moral obscenity that has shocked the world's conscience. Now we're going to go ahead and show how this is a bull story. It's crap. Here is a email. I'll put the links, all these links below. For those still shocked by the developing events in Syria, here is the full rundown, as it was orchestrated back in 2011 and it was released in March 2012 by WikiLeaks. It goes into great detail about this whole thing that we're seeing unfold, and what John Kerry's talking about is all a grand master plan. Very long, but for those of you who don't really want to read that much, I'll put a link below to this article, which is another news source, another mainstream media source, by the way, that picked up on the same email and says, yeah, the U.S. did indeed back a plan to launch a chemical weapon attack on Syria and blame it on the Assad government. Now here is a separate, another media source, another mainstream media source, talking about how one of the United States Western, one of the Western-backed funded rebels, how one of the a former leader of the rebels, has admitted to the chemical weapons. A former member of the Al-Qaeda-associated foreign-backed Jabhat al-Nusra, however you say that, front, which is fighting the Syrian armed forces in an attempt to oust the Syrian government to establish an Islamic Sharia state, has admitted that, however you say that name, is in possession of chemical weapons to be used in attacks against Syria. So you have the government, the Western-backed forces admitting that they have chemical weapons and they have the intention to use them against the government forces. Here is a video by WND with the assistance of former PLO member and native Arab speaker Walid Shubat. WND has assembled evidence from various Middle Eastern sources that cast doubt on the Obama administration claims that the Assad government is responsible for last week's attack. A video posted on YouTube embedded shows Free Syrian Army, or FSA, rebel forces launching a sarin gas attack on a Syrian village. I will play it, but I have so many windows open, it would defeat the purpose. So I will put all these links below, like I said before. And here is another report talking about how Assad's forces, the Syrian army, stumbled upon a rebel-controlled area, and they found a whole warehouse full of chemical weapons, chemical materials, protective masks, all that stuff. Now, for all those of you who don't have a goldfish memory, like apparently the rest of America does, because I don't know about you all, but nobody that I work at a grocery store, I see a lot of people every day when I work, and not one of them, including my coworkers, is mentioning or talking about this at all. And if no one really remembers what just happened not that long ago, this whole situation, in other words, is the Iraq playbook all over again. So let's get that straight here. This is all just, it's a joke. Now, Russia and China, they've come up and said, you know, if you guys do this, if the West intervenes, US, whatever, Britain, whoever, someone goes in there and attacks Syria, well, we're not going to be very happy. And I just would like to remind people of a couple stories that came out within the last couple years. We've got this story here. Everybody remembers this. There's even the video of it. the possible missile that was fired off the California coast a couple 2010 there. The missile fired off the California coast this week appeared on the same day that a Chinese sub surprised U.S. officials when it appeared suddenly in a U.S. carrier group back in 2007. Back in 2007, a Chinese submarine surprised American military chiefs when it popped up close to the massive USS Kitty Hawk. And there are some people out there who say that wasn't a missile, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's fine. Because we know what? We never really did get an official report on what that thing was. I think it's a missile, but I guess it's not official, right? Well, either way, we absolutely have had reports of Russian subs being detected off our coasts. So, I think it's a good time to prepare if you haven't already. I also think it's a good time because we're seeing oil surge now because of all this Middle East intervention talk. I think it's also a very good idea to keep your eye on the gas pump. So I will put all these links below. This is all orchestrated grand master plan. It's all a joke. Everybody's getting dragged into it, and people need to educate themselves and know this, because when the lights go out, you have an idea what's going on, and you are indeed left with a very educated perspective on things. There are going to be a lot of scared people who are going to be turned into the wrong sources of information about what's transpiring in front of their faces. So links will be below again. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to my teammates. Thanks to my subscribers. Thanks for having the courage to talk about this stuff and try to spread it around. Alright, I was going to go into this. It doesn't matter. I was going to go into a little personal story, but it doesn't matter. Thanks. Bye.